Chapter 79, Sidetracked. Jake, you've gotten off task, Emily said aloud. Jake looked over at her with open hostility. Stephanie watched the exchange, feeling increasingly untethered from whatever plan they were supposed to have. She liked Jake and Emily well enough. She even loved the idea of what they might become, of what their lives could turn into. Believing in powers had been easy. Believing in magic had been easy. Believing in this was harder. Emily was cautious to the point of paralysis. Jake was brilliant and distracted in equal measure. Stephanie didn't understand why it mattered that there were aliens on Earth. She didn't understand why they weren't finding others like themselves. She didn't understand why so much time was being wasted. Jake stood abruptly and headed to the door. Fine, let's go. Let's do anything else. Emily rolled her eyes. Jake, we should be careful. We've been so careful we're becoming boring, Jake groaned. Stephanie seized the moment. She grabbed a light sweater she thought looked cute and followed Jake to the door, offering him an encouraging grin. Emily glared at her. It's time to do something, Stephanie said, meeting Emily's stare head on, frustration sharpening her tone. Emily considered trying to stop them. She could feel the moment slipping away. Instead, she rose slowly inside. I'm driving. Jake and Stephanie rushed outside before she could reconsider. Piled into Jerome's truck, Jake and Stephanie argued briefly before settling the back seat with a quick game of rock, paper, scissors. Jake lost and complained loudly as he squeezed himself into the cramped space. Where to? Emily asked as she started the engine. I see 3 people at the mall, Jake said hopefully. No, Emily replied immediately. Not somewhere public. Give me an address, a home, an apartment, anything else. Jake rattled one off, then repeated it twice as Emily entered it into the GPS. I can give directions, Jake offered. No, this will be better. Stephanie bounced slightly in her seat, excitement bubbling over now that they were moving. She twisted around to face Jake. Tell me more about the aliens? Jake lit up instantly. I don't think they're from space, he said, but they're definitely not human. Well, some of them are, just not any races I recognize. There are bugs and tiny people and monsters, lions, fish-looking things. One guy looks like a deer but with furry hands. His words tumbled over each other. There's this huge jellyfish thing floating in a tank in the middle of the ship. It has a massive screen around it, but it's always blue, like when a computer freezes. Emily caught herself smiling. He'd said all of this before, but something about being out of the house made it feel lighter. She glanced at Stephanie and caught her grinning just as wide as she was. They have an actual spaceship, Jake continued, gesturing wildly. Hundreds of people and creatures working like it's normal. Holograms, lasers, it's crazy. Emily waited for him to take a breath before interrupting. What about the person we're going to see? Jake hesitated. He's kind of a bully, dresses in black leather, spikes. I don't know if he's a mage. But you think he might be, right? Stephanie asked. Maybe. Powers aren't obvious. People don't go around wielding them like you see in comics. But you've seen people use them, Stephanie pressed. Emily flinched despite herself. Jake thought. At least once, twice? And that was mostly luck. So we need a little luck, Stephanie said lightly. A lot of it, Jake replied, his eyes flickering to her. Don't we always? Jake, Emily said quietly. The air in the truck cooled. Silence crept in. Minutes later, Emily parked outside a rundown, pay-by-the-week apartment complex, hotel. Peeling paint, trash, a shopping cart stuffed with debris. Stephanie stared, open-mouthed. We're not going in here. Emily nodded. We are. Jake's shoulders lifted. We are? We can't keep listening to your alien stories forever, Emily said, opening the door. We have to try something. Stephanie grabbed Emily's arm. Are you sure? Emily looked around once more, then pulled it free. Let's see if you're as lucky as you think you are. Moved first, and quickly, rushing towards the door of the apartment. Emily, behind him, gasped. Stephanie froze beside her. Jake? Emily said urgently. What? He snapped, stopping and turning around. He saw them glowing. Not a solid light, but a flowing color, greens, purples, and reds, like the aurora borealis, curling around their bodies. They stared at one another in stunned silence. Emily scanned the lot. No one was watching. "We should go," she said. "No," Jake replied instantly, already moving for the door again. Stephanie followed without hesitation. Emily wanted to shout, wanted to stop them. Instead, she watched as Jake opened the unlocked door and stepped inside.